and welcome. Today I'm going to teach you how to do this picture of a sea monster playing in the sea. Look how fun that is. It's going to be very cool, and all you're going to need today is a gray piece of paper. You're going to need a black Sharpie, a white gel pen, a 0.5 micron pen, your Camellia watercolor set, and a pencil and eraser. I don't think I told you those things in the order that we use them, but those are all the things that you're going to need. And the paper is 8 by 10 size, and look how fun this is. Look at those scales. Look at the swirly water. Look at that cheesin' sea monster. Isn't that cool? All right, let's get started. First, we're going to start with just a pencil, and we're going to draw the large shapes first. So you want to think about the waves in the front being kind of the big ones. And we're not going to do all the details yet. Details will come later. So there, I just started with some front waves. Now, as we go back, there'll be somewhat of a pattern, but it won't be exactly like laying bricks. So like, for instance, this one gets a little taller and stays about the same width. But then, you know, I might kind of come over and do this. It doesn't have to be exactly in between like a brick would be, but we do want it to start getting a little smaller after this row. So we have that in place. And now we can start going a little smaller. So I'm kind of putting places in, and then they can kind of reach across. See how fun that is? And I'm kind of creating a parabola effect. We'll make that one go all the way off just to see what that was like. So mostly it just stacks up. It kind of looks like one of those comfy egg crate things that you can put on a mattress to make it more comfortable when you're traveling. So there, yeah. And then these are a little smaller. So see, I just feel the need to put another one there because these are smaller. As we go back, littler, littler, littler. And go off your page. See how it goes off the page? Go ahead and draw that, because when you take the tape off, it'll make more sense if you drew there to know what to do for the details. All right, so that is step one, going from larger to medium to small as you get to the back. Next, we're going to tuck in some sea monster parts. So some of the curvy parts, like this, will resemble the waves, right? The sea monsters are kind of hiding in. So we're going to do this close-up one here. And then if you have any of these parts inside of that, you just get rid of that so that the sea monster can be in front. So this is going to be closer to us so it feels larger. So then we want to put the spines sticking off of the sea monster's back. And so I want to think about them being like dominoes that are falling over. So if they were straight out, they're just going to kind of tip. So I'm going to add another one here. And like there could have been one like there. So again, draw off the page so you have continuity of your drawing. I've got some x-ray vision right inside of there. I want to get rid of that so that that doesn't stay forever. Okay, and now we're going to put the fin that goes on those spines. So I think I kind of like to see it doing like an S shape, okay? So maybe backwards. So it's going to be like flat and then under. So this is coming straight off and dipping up. Straight, dipping up, straight, dipping up, straight, dipping up. So it's kind of interesting because it's just kind of flat on it the way it comes over. And then we'll erase this X-ray vision here. So that's the biggest segment of a sea monster that we'll see. And it's kind of directly on the side. Do more details later on that. That's all we need for that. So now let's have some water come between us. So here's water, water. And we don't want it to be in the same section as this. So this water here is really important that it's still there. Because we're creating the illusion of a serpent for this sea monster, that it's long, then parts of its body will be under the surface of the water where we cannot see, and we don't want it touching itself or another sea monster that is in this water too. So I want to make sure that there's water here, and then I leave. And so I'm going to come to this area. This seems like a good area to include another part of the sea serpent. So I'm going to use this side and this side for it. All right, so what I'm going to do is this one's going to be turned a little bit. So I'm going to start here. Yeah, that seems good. And then make a rainbow shape that's tighter that goes to there. So see, there's quite a lot of X-ray vision. We'll take care of that in just a minute. Then I'm going to go close to this side. So close to this one. So here it is, close to that. But far from this side. So far, 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 far. So, all right. And then we're going to copy that shape. Copy, 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 copy. And it's a little bit like a rainbow, but there's less space here than there is here. See? Bigger, smaller. All right. That's what we want. That's good. So now I'm going to erase everything out of the inside of that. Just like that. And I did not mean to erase this water, so I'm going to put that back. Okay, so that is going to be part of our sea serpent. And then just like these spines, we're going to have some spines. This will be the middle of the back. So we're going to go middle of the back. Now these spines have to be shorter than those spines. So if you made these too short, go back and make these longer, because you're going to have trouble going smaller, smaller as you go up if you don't make these pretty big. So let's get these heading in that direction too. And I'm going to have this water be in front. So we'll do it like that. Now we'll do our webbing. And so the same as this, it's going to be kind of flat and up and flat and up. So it's sticking kind of straight out of this part of its body. And then we'll have that go behind the water. And this go behind the water, behind the waves. And we'll erase more X-ray vision. So it's all erased. Now, this looks like just the side, like this one. So if you need this project to be easier, you can just do the side of things over and over and over again. That is the simplest way to do it. But I like to change the angles of the turns of the different sea serpents. So this one, I'm going to have kind of a 3/4 view. So instead of it being exactly on the side, it's going to be turned like this towards us. So I'm going to start about here and do its underbelly. All right, so see, you don't see its underbelly on this side, but you do see its underbelly on that side. And then because it's turned, you're going to see part of its back a little bit showing behind here. So that right there is part of its back. More details later. So now let's move over and have some sea serpent coming this way. So this is another kind of larger one. So I'm going to start at this wave now and do just a little rainbow there. And then have some spines sticking up from there. Like that. And then I'm going to put my fins flat in, flat in, flat in. All right. And again, this one, instead of being straight on the side, because this is water. This is not part of that guy. And so I don't want it to be straight on the side, and I want a little different that. So instead, I'm going to have us looking down from the top of it. So it'll be, instead of going like this, it's going to be turned like this. So we're going to see more of the top side of it going like that. All right, I'm going to erase this X-ray vision. I'll be back for more details on you. All right, so we got complete side, 3/4 view, complete top, and then let's do a tail. A tail will be fun. So we're going to skip past this water. Maybe, yeah, I think this water is far enough away that we can do a tail. And we'll go up, and most dragons have that fun kind of like arrow tip on it, so we'll stick with that plan. And we will do some spines that are getting shorter and draw our little tips on there and erase out the X-ray vision. So we definitely have some tumultuous feelings. The waters are tumultuous. The sea serpent is tumultuous. It's very fun. We got like some chaos going here. I'm going to do more dragon parts, but I want to be sure that I have a face or a head. So I'm going to skip to the face and put a face like kind of playing peekaboo with us up here. And then come back and tuck in more sea monster parts down lower. So let's go up to this space here and we can start our face. And so our face will fit in this area, and its neck is going to go down behind this water here. So, and I want that kind of S curve to its neck, something like that. And then I want it to have an eye bulge, and I want it to have a nostril bulge, and I want it to have an open mouth, and I want it to be playing. So this sea serpent is playing in the ocean. So instead of being like, I mean, it's not safe, okay? So don't go out and like start playing with it. But I want it to be, think of it as like, it would be fun to watch this sea serpent play in the ocean. Kind of like when you have a family of foxes and you watch all the cute little baby foxes play, but you don't go out there and stick your fingers in their mouth, okay? So this is going to be our sea monster that's having fun playing, and we enjoy watching it, but we are not going to go stick our fingers in its mouth, okay? So there I have figured out like my eye, my mouth is open, a bump for the eye, a bump for the nostril. It's shaped a little bit like these S curves. And then I'm going to put the spines coming down its back. And I want a slight turn that I can see kind of the underbelly. So I'm just going to get that in position. All right, so I'm going to move that close to the camera. And then I'm going to have to clean out and erase X-ray vision and stuff back there. But we have our head in place for our playful sea monster. So now I will erase and clean it up. So there's one of the faces, nice and clear. I'm not going to draw teeth because I'm going to use my white pen for that. And I've got my fins back here, so I will start my fins. Kind of in and out. And I got to get rid of some X-ray vision right there. I know I switched pencils because this one had an eraser on it. So we got that. All right, and that is very fun. Oh, and a nostril. All right, yay. So I got the head back there. So I might as well go ahead and do like a little body part right here. They'll be diving this way. So we're gonna do this, only smaller back there. So here we go. That way, underbelly, back. I feel like I'm drawing French fries, standing alone when I do those spines on the back. And then here we go with kind of making a flame shape This might be a little bit different dragon than the one in the front because it has more of a flame shape. And then we'll get rid of the X-ray vision in there. There we go. Oh, and a little bit in there. Oop, flying pencil. Okay. Now that we have big and we have small, let's go for medium size. So let's do 2 medium-sized things. And so we're going to kind of tuck them in here so they don't crash there. And so we'll do another like very sideways one. So let's kind of, this will be the tallest that it is, but there'll be spines on it. So we don't want it so tall that you don't have room for spines. And then this will be the width of it. So we got a nice medium-sized width. And we'll do a little skinny line for its underbelly. And we will have it going the other direction. So let's do that. So let's have these going this way. With more French fries. Okay. And let's erase the X-ray vision. So now to put the fin on the spines. And I liked what happened on this one where we had this kind of like flame-like feeling. So let's try that. So it's going to go, curve is going to go up, have a point, go backwards under it, up, have a point, backwards under it. So I like that. It's a little bit like laying question marks on them. So to get that really cool appearance. So just kind of happened when we're doing that one. And we'll keep this one. We won't change these because you need 2 ways of doing it. And that looks cool. All right, I'm going to get rid of the X-ray vision in there too. So if this one's turning this way, let's have one turning the other way, and let's try to squeeze it over here. So we'll have it coming up from this wave, up, 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 going to the right and down. So it kind of almost looks like an egg shape. And then let's skip a distance so that it's wide over here and skinny there. So like off-center egg. Then we'll do the underbelly like that. Counts like I'm drawing a cartoon eye in the corner now. Then we'll go with some spines up like this. And then they'll start to lay in this direction. Like that. Yeah, and so then we'll see if we can get this little pointing up, pointing up. And then behind that water. All right, so if this is wide and this is narrow, that means that you can see part of the top here. So I'm gonna go like this to there. All right, so we have all the parts, but the X-ray vision is kind of confusing. So I'm gonna erase the X-ray vision out of it. Okay, this is really fun. I'm gonna save this area for our name. We're gonna sign our name in the water over there. But I think I'd like to put another like small body part over here because there's 3 good spots. So we'll do one here. So we'll do like this. We'll have it come from here. 1, 2, bigger distance 3, and then we'll have the spines going like that. And then we'll have, there we go, heading in that direction. Oops, I missed a spot there, but we'll just draw that back later. There. All right, so X-ray vision's got to go out of that. That'll be another from the side view. Oops, I gotta draw this part back. There we go. So that's all the pencil drawing that we need. The rest of it will happen with Sharpie or our Pigma pen or micron pen. Let's get our micron pen out first. We got our micron number 5, Pigma micron pen number 5. And so don't trace the water. Now you might like, well, I won't on purpose, but it's a little hard to tell. So together we're going to trace the sea serpent or the sea monster first, and then we're going to do some details. So let's do that first. And if you accidentally trace the water later when we have our Sharpie marker, you can just go over top of it and it'll be fine. So here we go. We are just tracing our sea serpent parts first. So this is what it looks like after I've used the Micron 05 pen to trace only the dragons or the sea monsters. And now we'll use it to do a few more details. So let's start down at our first one down here again. And so we're going to think about it like tic-tac-toe, but we're going to think about it as a curvy tic-tac-toe. See, so we're going to curve, 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 curve across this way. And then let's curve the other way. So see how it creates diamonds? And that will be like the scales for our sea serpent guys. And it's okay if we were a little heavy-handed on that one because we can get lighter as we go back. So now that you practice there, let's move to this one. This one's going to have a tummy like this, tummy. So no cross-hatching. This is just going to be the tummy. So that is finished. Now let's find all the other tummies while we're at it. So this one will be here. And this one will be here. Like a sunshine or eyelashes. And this one will be going this way. So I'm going to put a little curve like this on that side. This one doesn't have that. And, oh, we have some here. That, and of course on our face. So we got all of those. So the rest of the places are going to have more like this kind of thing going on. So let's do that here. So we'll go like this. Notice I'm using a little less pressure. And so now I can go the other way. So first was smiles and then is rainbows. There we go. And then so we want to imagine putting an X that there's some there and there. Yay! Okay, so let's do that here some more. Curve, 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 curve. Curve, 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 curve. Curve, curve. Curve, curve. And then the other way. Really gives it some interesting dimension in that shape. And the tail. So let's do it like this. Let's go. And then let's go like this. There we go. And then up here. Curve, 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 curve. It's like doing sound waves. And then the other direction. It's like a brain teaser. And this will go the other way. Oh, okay. I got that one. Now let's do this one. So these will go this way first. And then let's go the other, let's go like this. Fun. All right, little skinny guy over here. Must be getting close to a tail. And then the other way. Well, we've made it all the way up to here. So this part's kind of on the fast side, right? All right, here we go. So it gets a little challenging. You gotta think about what'll happen when we get to the face. We just have to jump over the eyes so that we don't get it in the eyes. Okay, we got that part. Then we go this way. Kind of just mix up the directions if you have to get that diamond feeling. The scales would get smaller the closer to the eyes. And there, good enough. I added extra lines to make it more scaly. All right, so that's all we need our micron pin for. Ta-da! Your micron pin can go back in its box until it does something next month. And it's going to be time to get your fine point Sharpie marker out. Okay, with our Sharpie marker, we're going to trace all the water waves that are left. So if we erase the X-ray vision, don't trace that part. But all the parts that are the water waves, we're going to trace those. And notice how very dark and thick it looks. That's because it has another task to do later. So this is our structure that all our little sea monsters are hiding in here. And you'll be glad for the boldness of this line in just a minute. There we go. And just trace them all. Oops, I thought I traced everything, but there's a little bit of this water right there. So notice I've traced everything, and I even went onto my tape edges here because you're going to need that curve to help you with something that you're going to do in just a minute. But now that everything is traced, there's no pencil-y part that isn't traced that we had drawn before that we hadn't tried to erase. And now we can erase the whole page. Now it is gray paper, so you won't notice a huge deal difference, but this will just kind of clean it up, get any extra pencil lines off, because we don't want any pencil on here to inhibit our ability to do white details and more pencil lines. And you can't erase after you put paint on there, so now is the time to erase, 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 and get rid of all of those schnoodlins. So we're ready to continue. I'm not gonna draw with pencil next. If you're uncomfortable, you can do pencil, but I think just like we could just draw with our pen on there, you should be good with your Sharpie. If you would like to be cautious, you can use your pencil. So we're gonna think about threes. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, swirl. 1, 2, 3, swirl. So here we go. This line counts as 1. Here is 2. Here is 3. And swirl will happen next. So let's go ahead and find all of our wet water and do the 3 lines first. So 1, 2, 3. So see how we're copycatting the line we had first? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1. 1's already there. So I probably should just say 2, 3. 2, 3. Here's part of 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3's behind. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Did I get them all? I think so. All right, so. All right. So we have those 2 lines. So next we get to do the swirl. All right, so for the swirl, it's going to be like we're almost copying that one again. So we have another one, but then it just goes like this. So think of it as like a whirlpool. All right, so it is. Okay, so we're just imagining another line, and it just keeps going behind until it can swirl. All right, so what was going on back here? I already erased too much, so I don't know what was going on back there. We'll have to solve that in a minute because even I am confused. All right, so I'm left with like kind of these 3-4 places are a little confusing. So this one is a little clearer that we would have that kind of thing going on inside. If this one goes to there and there, then maybe it would be like, let's just do this. Let's have it do like that. There. It's a big one. A big one, I say. All right, and then this one can have that kind of thing going on too. And this one can also, we'll do part of it like this. There, that makes sense. All right, do we have it noisy enough? Loud enough? Okay, we'll go there. And we'll add a little. So see how I kind of copied that shape? If there was too much empty paper, I just copied something. So, all right, nice. Very crowded, very noisy at this point, but all will be well soon enough because next it is time for our white pen. Up until now, everything that we have drawn on here with has been dried immediately. So you didn't have to worry about smearing, your hand could rub on it. I mean, you could get pencil on there, but you know, pretty much the marker dries really fast. And when it doesn't, it gets on your skin, but it doesn't smear on the paper. So we should be super clean at this point. But the white paint pen takes longer to dry. So I'm gonna start at the top and work my way down so that when I'm writing, I don't have to lay my hand in it. Now, if you're left-handed, look, your hand gets in it when you start at the top. So you might want to start at the bottom and work your way up so that your hand won't smear this. So maybe, is there a way to play the video in reverse? I don't know. But right-handed people start up here, left-handed people can start down there, and you can look at your sample to see where all the white parts are. And you can watch this video first and then come back and write on it later. So we're going to start up here with our face. All right, so we've got our face, and so we want to make this eyeball look cute. So the part that's not colored black, and if you didn't color it black, you can do it now. We're going to go around it with some white around the eye, and then we're going to give it little sparkles in its eye like that. And if you feel like, oh no, I colored too much, then you can get your pen back. Let's get our micron pen, remember, because it's a dragon, and you can draw back like an upper eyelid and a lower eyelid, and if you covered too much with that, you can get it back, no problem. All right, so we have a cute eye, and then I promised teeth. I did promise teeth. All right, so you can use your micron pen to kind of draw some teeth in there so that they have a little outline for them, or you can just put teeth on because we have a little bit of wave there. So I'm just going in like an oval shape and getting those nice pearly whites in there for our playful friendly dragon. No, I got lost. Okay, so if you get lost like I just did, you can just go back and put in his little smiley mouth and go around the teeth again because I got lost in the corner. And if you get paint on your black pen, you can do the same thing that we did to get it off of our white pen and just tap it. So I'm going to outline those again. There. A few times around, and now I can get a little bit more white. Right there. Okay, and corner of my mouth, nice and smiley. All right, looks a little sinister, or like he doesn't know how to smile when the camera's on him. So you're welcome to do a little better than that if you want. I don't mind if you get a happier face than I do. So I'll Go a little bigger with that smile, and then a little bigger with my teeth. There we go. All right, the next place that this white is going to go is in the little spinies. Those spinies that are on the back of his little body. So pretty much, yeah, spinies it is. Spinies, spinies, just like that. All right, so that's going to be everywhere, okay? The other place that we're going to put it is we're going to go right next to the black line on the little tummy. So not on the black line, but next to it, so that those are the parts that stick out in front. So like the water would run off the edges and not go up into the little crevices on the guy. So that's kind of cool. So we know all of these and all of these. All right, so we got that. We're going to do that everywhere, but you don't have to do that right now because we just talked about how it smears when our hand touches it. And the other important place that this white pen is going to go, and the reason why we use Sharpie on the water, is because we are going to trace all of the water with this pen. So not the outline of the sea serpent. No, because that was done with this pen. But all the parts that we traced with this pen, we're going to go right inside of it and create kind of an outline effect like that by tracing inside the middle of every single black line on every single Sharpie line. And because I'm right-handed, I probably shouldn't have done that next, but at least you can see that clearly. So here we go, tracing every single black line with white. And you'll notice it shows up really nice on that black Sharpie line. This is very pleasing. I'm going to stop before I crash into those teeth, though. I don't want to wreck those teeth after it took me a while to get them the way I like them. All right, see, just like that. And this one's in front, so it goes first. We're going to do all of that everywhere, and then we'll be ready for paint. So let's do it. Here's a close-up of what we're doing. Tracing all those Sharpie lines. Dun, da, da, da. Here we go. Everything is finished. All the micron dragons have been traced and details added. All the Sharpie water lines have been added. All the white pen has traced all the Sharpie lines and has added to the little spines on the back of the dragons and on the little plates on the bellies of the dragons or the sea monsters and the teeth in the eye. Also, on this little pointy tail, I added a white side here where the fin side is to give it a little bit more dimension. We are now going to be ready to paint. When you look at this, notice chaos. The water's swirling. The sea serpent is swirling. The waves are billowing. This is a picture of chaos right now. This sea serpent is having lots of fun playing with the other sea serpents. All right. So at this point, it's just all over the place. So it is going to be color's job to divide up what is water and what is sea monster. So you are welcome to make the sea monster whatever color you want, but I am going to specifically use colors that are the complementary colors of the blues that I will use in the water so that my sea serpent will stand out and can be seen clearly. So the waters are going to be blues and turquoises and those colors, blues. And then my sea serpent is going to be oranges and light oranges and the opposite colors so that it will clarify and bring order to this very fun chaos and make it even more pleasing to look at and to see the fun sea monsters dancing around. Now you can do whatever you want, but I'm just telling you why I'm doing what I'm doing because I want to be able to see stuff. If you are more into camouflage, then go ahead, do teal and green. do analogous colors, teal and green on your sea serpent and blues and turquoise in your water, I'm fine with that. But I just want you to know so that you can do it intentionally instead of naively, which is what I always like to say, because I love teaching you things, and then you have choices instead of doing stuff by accident. Here's my artwork. Here's my little water container. Here's my paintbrush. Here's my paint tray. You can consult your list of colors, but I'm just going to point this one right here. So see, there's the 4 open mixing areas. Here's like a vermilion, red, orange, and right here is orange. We're going to use that orange. Take some water, stir on there, and we're going to keep it kind of on the wet side, and we're going to use this to first off paint every part of all our sea monsters orange. So I'm going to go on the white on its tummy. I'm going to go on the white on its fins on its back. Tell you what though, I will not go on the eye or the teeth, even though I got some on the teeth. I'm going to go around the eye. That way he doesn't have to have orange eyes. But if you want him to have orange eyes, you can go there, and I can get a little bit around those teeth. There we go. And so consider this like a stain. Don't stir like a whole bunch, because then it'll cover everything and it won't be like a window. See, that's too dark. So you want to make sure it's wet and it's just staining it, like staining the furniture, and then take some of that puddle over here. So that was a little too puddly. Go on this part. Here we go. Tummy, borrowing some of that, taking it over here. And it looks really good. Spreading that out a little bit. Yeah, so that will happen on every part of our sea dragon, sea monster. There. Now that everything is orange, it is clear to see what part are dragons, what part are not dragons. So just find all your sea monster parts, just double check around the edges, make sure, is that a dragon, the sea dragon, sea monster, is that the ocean? And just get a base color of orange there for all of those. So looks really good. I'm really pleased about this. I'm going to continue on the sea monsters though before I do the water. I think we'll just keep going with this. So we have orange everywhere except for on his eye and supposedly on his teeth, but I got a little bit on his teeth. He's got some plaque. Who knew? All right, maybe he's been eating goldfish for dinner. I don't know. All right, the crackers, of course. So now we're going to wash our brush off again. Notice I kept getting water on it so that we get the right amount of wetness on each one of those. And now I'm going to go to this red-orange color right next to the orange that we chose. And this is going to go everywhere we have tic-tac-toe. So if it has our little tic-tac-toe shape, see how it goes right on top of that other orange? Gives it some nice coloration for there. And we will put that on top of our orange. It was not a waste of time to put orange there. So please, if you watch the video, do the orange first. And then we're going to put this color on top where the tic-tac-toe is. Yay, that looks great. That was so fun. All right, so that'll be drying. I'm gonna wash my brush off. That looks cool. All right, now I'm going to go over. We're still not done with our sea monster. It's looking cool. We got all of its scaly parts. We're going to do its underbelly now. And so let's go down here. Now my regular yellow is a little dirty, so I'm just going to get it a little dry. Clean it off there. So see how it had dried on orange and I got it wet, and then I can put it on a paper towel. There, it's back to being lemony looking, so very light yellow. So I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to get that wet, and I'm going to find all my underbellies, so like here. And it will have less of an impact than the red had on the scaly parts, but it'll still have some impact and it will look nice. So let's do it. Yay. All right, so the dragon, the sea monster, whatever you want to call it, it is looking finished now because we have the yellow on all the underbellies. We've got orange just on the fins like we started, and we put our red orange on the scaly parts. Very cool. Now we can start thinking about the water. So when we're looking at our water sets here, we have this very dark blue color here. We've got 4 blues. All right, so let's start with this lighter blue one right here. This one, that's kind of a fun color. It's kind of like a robin's egg blue, this one here. So what we're going to do with that one is we're going to put that one on the first space at the top of all our waves. So see that? So just the first space. So it's kind of like the first line that we drew plus 1 when we were making these waves, we'll get this color. And so we're going to do that on all of our waves first. Let's do it. Right, concerning that light blue right here, this one, that you put on the top of all the waves. Notice I had to like really look, where is the top? Even the ones that went behind, where's the top? And also notice that I wasn't too careful. It gets on the white lines. That adds to this painting that the white lines can turn a certain color. So like these turned kind of orange, these turned kind of yellow. Also, as this paint dries, you can kind of feel it's slightly chalky. That's normal, so you're not doing anything wrong if that feels like that. And so I found the top wave line on all the water, and now I am going to go right next door. So this is the color we just did right there. And then here is a blue that's almost as dark as night, and right in between this one right here, this is the color we're going to use next. And what's interesting about this one is we are going to put it on the whole rest of our waves. So you can see it's a bit darker, so it will kind of fill in the gap, and you will notice how well your sea serpent stands out after this step. So we're just going to put that on the other parts. Don't go on your light blue part because it will turn it this color. We want this to be on the other parts, not the light blue part. And notice that I have a fair amount of water because it's a pretty powerful color. And just kind of filling in on all of those places. After this step, there shouldn't be any gray paper left that doesn't have color on it. So this one will take care of all of those places. You'll notice as you go, the other earlier places you painted will dry, and it'll dry lighter than when you painted it. So when you painted it, the wetness made it look darker on the paper, and as it dries, it'll get a little lighter. You don't need to add more paint because we don't need this color to be dark. We want it to definitely look watercolory, which is nice for water. That watercolor water seems like a good idea, doesn't it? All right, so that's what we have. And now every place is covered, so even these places that look light, that's just where the paint is dried. We're happy with that. And so now we're going to wash our brush. And now we're going into this very dark blue right here. This one. Probably the Prussian blue of this set. Make sure I got it wet. Got it wet. All right. And we're going to find our whirlpools. And we're going to go on our whirlpools and get that dark color down there. So we're not going up into the 2-3 zone, just the whirlpool zone. So kind of the bottom depths of it. Whee! And that will look really cool. So we have, borrow some of you for here. So even shadows in our water. Ah, looks so good. All right, so keep that up. Oh, the whirlpools, nice and dark. And now we have all the right colors where they're supposed to go everywhere, and we're just kind of waiting for things to dry. But let's say that you're like, I started this painting 2 hours before our meetup and I went really fast and I got some paint on my sea monster and I'm disappointed that I did that. Well, the best I can say is let's try. Because they are complementary colors, we might be able to get away with going back onto our sea serpent with a little orange. And so I wouldn't worry if there's sea serpent in the water, but if you've got water on your sea serpent, you can go back with this color orange right here and kind of get those off of places, because it's light enough that even if it's on a red place, it should make it stand out from the blue background. It won't ever go back to the exact same color that it was, but it should help it have kind of like a koi fish appearance, that it has some speckles of this color to help it stand out in front of the blue, which is all we really want, is to be able to see it well in front of that ocean. So that should work. And then you can try, after that dries a bit, to go back on top of like this with yellow, for instance, after we put the orange on. So we're just going back to our original order we did before, where we did orange, then we did red on top, or we did yellow on top. So we're starting with the orange in those places that got paint on them. And I know it's kind of a surprise that this works because it is transparent. You can see through it. Yeah, so like why? I don't know why. It just seems to work. So I don't know if it like displaces the other color and says, no, this is where I'm going to be now. Move along. I don't know. I think that's my best guess on what happens. That it just kind of replaces and moves along the other colors. So now I can put this red color on top of that one. And right there and right there. And then I can put this yellow color, because it's not opaque. If it was opaque, I mean, it's somewhat opaque, but if it was very opaque, you would lose all of those lovely lines that we put on with our micron pen. And we don't lose those. We can still see those. And we can still see our white colors that we use with our white pen. Oops, I wasn't supposed to put yellow there. Oh well, it's there now. All right, so that's the end of that. And now we can take our tape off. When removing the tape, let's pull away from our paper slowly and carefully, and on the same plane that the picture is. So don't pull up,